My name is Abraham Great. Now, the funny thing about it, every time I tell people my name, they be like, really? I'm okay. Tell us your real name. And sometimes it's quite embarrassing when you get into a place, unless you're showing them your driver's license or I'm showing them my passport before they believe that my name is actually Abraham Great. So why do I have this name? Some people will actually misspell or quote my name. They say Abraham the Great. My name is not Abraham the Great. But can I tell my story or the story of my name in a few minutes? Maybe. Let's try. Well, when I was born, there was a situation that is quite a serendipity for my parents, is the fact that I have about 7 natural names. So if you were born in Nigeria or born in the part of Africa, West Africa, where I was born in, and to my parents, both of my parents are actually West Africans from Nigeria. When you are born, the way I was born, you give a kind of a dilemma to your parents. Number one, I was born on a Sunday. People from my tribe or the tribe that I was born in, usually, sometimes, or if they wish, they would name their child if they were born on Sunday. Either Sunday or Bosse. If it's a female, they can name Bosse. And if it's male, they name you Sunday. Also, I was born after twin, meaning that my parent had twin girls before I was born. So naturally, I would be Dowu. I was born just few days before my father had a housewarming for a house he has just built that represent my middle name now. So if you check, I go by Abraham Adeshile Great. That's on my passport. Now, also, I was born just the year or few months after my grandfather passed on. Traditionally from the Yoruba people, that means Babatunde. My mom is from the royal family of Ede, which is another state in Nigeria that confer on me again another royal name that just went on like that. Now, I was born on a Sunday. On the Tuesday of my birth, my father went to work, but he had this colleague, or he had this business partner or friend who is a Scottish man, and Jerry was his name. Jerry asked my dad and said, Joshua, what are you going to name your son now that you have son after 3 girls? My father said, oh, look, this is dilemma. This is how many named or natural given names that this boy would have. He said, but what do you want to call him? And my dad said to Jerry, I want to call him Oluwatobi. Oluwatobi. Now, Oluwatobi, and Jerry being a Scottish man said, what does that mean? And said, God is great. So Jerry said, why not call him great? But my father argued and said, great is an adjective, not a noun. How can I give him, an adjectifying name? So my father somewhat wrote it down among the list of names that he was thinking about giving his son, but that was it. That was it. So he gave me every other name, and then my Bible name became Abraham. Now fast forward, I was, for the first maybe 18 years of my life, I was called Sunday. For the first 19 years of my life, I was called Sunday as a first name. And one day, I felt, I'd left Nigeria. This time around, I had migrated into another country. And I felt there was a divine voice that said to me to leave my, degree pursuit at the time to go into to that country. So I was, I think I was sleeping or something, and I heard something divine woke me up, and I sat down and he began to have a conversation with me. Now, what's your name? I said, my name is Sunday. He said, no, your name is not Sunday. I said, my name is Sunday. He said, your name is, he said, pick up the holy book. And as I begin to pick up the Bible, at the time, he said, read the book of Luke. I read from chapter 1 and then chapter 2. Something became significant to me in that chapter, the first 2 chapters of that book of Luke. Say his name shall be great, and his name shall be great, and it became great and stuff like that. And the word great started ringing in my head. It was just ringing and ringing. But I end that eureka moment, or that divine moment, or that encounter with a conviction in my spirit that I should imbibe the name Great. Now I have a dilemma. I got to tell my father. My father, I was lucky enough at the time, this was 1997, in April of 1997. My father worked in the telecommunication companies of my country of birth, Nigeria, at the time. So I was able to call him. I rang my dad to say, Dad, this is the situation. I want to have a change of name so that I can have an affidavit to be able to change my passport at the embassy. And what I've never seen before, I've never seen this before, my father was sobbing or crying on the phone. And if I could, in my language, he said, Omoyi, this boy is not going to kill me. He said, who told you your name is great? I said, Dad, I'm sorry. I thought like maybe I hurt him by changing or wanting to change a name. And it was a big deal. I could feel that he was shaking. He was sobbing on the phone, like weeping or crying. He said, who told you your name is great? Who told you your name is great? So I was trying to calm him down and said, Dad, I'm sorry if this hurts you. I'm willing to let go of it. And he said, no, that he's going to send me something that once I got it, that I should call him. So he sent me, I think it took about 2 or 3 weeks before his Bible that he was using in 1977 got to me. So when I got the Bible, I called him and he said, open to so page. He said, those are the names on a particular date or maybe the eve of your christening that I was going to name. He said, did you notice that I bracket great amongst the name? He said, nobody except your mom is aware that I ever had this conversation except my friend, a Scottish man. And from that day on, my father just believed that I have a divine voice that is leading me, something divine leading me. So eventually what I did was to take that name as my surname. So Great became my surname. I was initially having my family name as a company name, so Great-Akintayo, but eventually I had to drop it. So eventually I actually dropped the Sunday and took my Christian name, which was my given Bible name as well, and then picked my middle name, which is my middle name from birth, Adeshile, and then Great. So all the names that I bear. So for those out there who always ask, how can you be great? Maybe what have you? Yes, it's my given name actually. So it's the name, but the way it came about is somewhat serendipitous, is somehow divine. And there is power in a name. From the time in 1997 that I have been going by that name, that is 24, 25 years now, that name has opened door for me. You might want to check. Maybe you have 2, 3, 4 names. You might just want to check how best can you brand yourself or your name, but just make sure that it is still authentic you. It is working.